Hello everyone, welcome to the 8th episode of the Faenza Prize Talk. We have the pleasure today to meet 8 artists of the category under 35. Some of them are in presence and I thank them for the availability for this afternoon, and some of them send us a video presentation. As you know, the Faenza Prize has 2 categories. The one under 35 gives the opportunity of a residency to the awarded artist, and an experience in Faenza, in our museum, that will give the opportunity of a presentation to the public of a personal exhibition inside the museum. Let's start this new episode with the first artist, Wang Deng, Chinese from Jinkang, where he is a teacher at the local ceramic university. He has a good career and many awards in ceramic competitions, and he is combining tradition and innovation. He sent us a video, and I asked Stefania to give us this opportunity of showing.
Porcelain geometric series of ceramic sculptures. Jinkang high-temperature ceramics and metal copper wire are used to create with ceramics as the medium. Copper wires are the ties connecting various geometric ceramics, make it a whole. In Jinkang's porcelain making process, put people's focus and perseverance. Every process is carried out in an orderly manner. When ceramics exhibit a unique sense of order in a regular layout, this handmade beauty of order is unique to ceramic materials. When the ceramic and copper wires collide with each other, when blended with it, it produces traces of unique and artistic beauty. My sculptures are made of porcelain, combining the most common geometric shapes in life. Draw on the binding technique of Jingsu jade clothes to create. When creating, I think about how to create ceramic sculptures that combine rhythm, structure, and virtual and real space. In my creation, I chose Jinkang's traditional porcelain making process, but at the same time, I am also thinking about how to break the creative form of traditional ceramic art. Modular and systematic approach to creativity. It controls the body of the geometry. Sections are made at the height of the body. A variety of faceted effects are formed after being fired at a high temperature of 1320 degrees, bound with gold group copper wire. Create a unique art form. The memory of the reincarnation of works reflects on how to use Jinkang ceramics as creative elements. Combining our traditional and excellent molding techniques, create unique ceramic sculptures, the fertile soul of Jinkang ceramic art. It has 72 unique porcelain making processes. Every craft embodies the hard work and wisdom of the craftsmen. They spend their lives in the dirt. Create dazzling ceramic works of art in the blend of fire and earth. I think ceramic sculpture is an artistic dream woven by mud and fire. It is an artistic practice that is both interesting and profound during the creative process. Although it is simple and complex, the creative idea of simplifying complexity, adhering to the philosophy of round sky and round place, not limited to the inherent presentation form of sculpture itself, seemingly random placement, In fact, it attaches importance to the contrast between virtual and real and the spatial thinking of high and low. In the future creation of ceramic sculpture, we'll pay more attention to integrating their own life insights and expectations for the future into it. Make my work more storytelling and emotional.
So thank Wang Deng for your sending your presentation. This video is beautiful, and it is expressing your poetry and your idea of ceramic using this beautiful material, porcelain, that made famous Jinkang in all the world. So abstract form, modularity, and this high technique that is inside your idea of perfect lines and perfect forms. So let's go to the next artist, June Fischer from Switzerland. She is a multidisciplinary artist who creates dialogues between photo, sculpture, installation, writing, and visual arts. So the floor is yours, and to express your philosophy and your art. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is June Fischer. I'm 29 years old, and I work and live in Zurich, Switzerland. I came back from Tokyo 2 months ago, where I lived for 1.5 years. So now I try to build my practice between Japan and Switzerland. And I'm really happy to be here today and to have the chance to tell you a little bit more about my work and the ideas behind it. Next, please. I think to get a better picture of how I work, I first have to tell you a little bit about my text Stuzzica Denti, because it's a big part of my process, writing, actually. So a few years ago, I started this ongoing text Stuzzica Denti that I created with the method of écriture automatique, automatic writing. And I basically tried to just letting words and sentences flow without controlling them too much. So there's like no narrative or red thread throughout the text. It's more like a landscape of snapshots or glimpses into emotions and thoughts that aren't always easy to name. And later on, I take pieces from that text and transform them into physical works, sometimes in, for example, ceramic reliefs, sometimes sculptures or combined media pieces. I really like finding ways to challenge the boundaries between those fixed categories, whilst experimenting with the interplay between different forms of presentation and materials. Next, please. In general, I'm also very excited about combining photography and printing techniques with ceramics. That's why silkscreen is a very interesting technique for me to work with. Also because originally I come more from photography. So I'm fascinated by the idea of transferring images onto different medias, or for me especially clay, and see how they change, like through firing, through temperature, through glazes and pigments, and like reshape the images in ways I can't fully control. Next, please. This series, which started with my first solo show, is called Plasticus. And the idea behind the plastic bags containing those ceramics creatures sold at water markets came from a trip to Southeast Asia, where you can see them a lot on markets. And the whole exhibition, the first one was about an animal called nudibranch. It's a type of sea slug living in all of our oceans. And I was very interested in like the contradiction between obviously the cruelty of this practice, but also the visual beauty of it. And it ended up in a sculpture made of ceramics and epoxy resin. Next, please. Oh. Last year, a new topic entered my work. It's the idea of gifts and offerings. This came from two experiences. First one was rewatching Spirited Away by Hayao Miyazaki. And for the first time, I really tried to understand the character of No Face. I don't know if you're familiar with the movie, but there's this character called No Face. And also visiting my partner's family in Taiwan and taking part of a Buddhist ritual at his grandfather's grave. So both of these experiences made me think about what it means to offer something to someone, also what it means to give or to want something in return, and how these rituals and meanings are shaped by our culture, emotions, and even today by our digital world. Next, please. So to explore these questions, I've been creating different sculptures. So far, 9 different sculptures. Large ceramic pieces with hand-like forms, and they're offering different kind of objects. They feel like gestures, sometimes more generous, sometimes a little bit unsettling, and they connect to the deeper layer of desire and transformation and connection that I'm trying to understand through my work. Next, please. So the sculpture Emilia will be shown at the Premio Faenza exhibition. That's my selected work. And it's one sculpture out of 9 sculptures, which were produced in Shigaraki, Japan, where I produced for 2 months. And I think so far this is the biggest sculpture I ever made, and for sure the heaviest one. So I'm really excited to show this in Faenza, and I'm also very excited to see the rest of the works of the selected artists. And yes, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, June. It's a great work, what you presented, so compliments. And then I really appreciate the fact that you pass through different experience of the languages of ceramic art. So it's not just the ceramic, but putting together the writing, the photos, philosophy, and also the cinema, because Miyazaki is... it is always a source of inspiration for everyone, and yes, perhaps we will have the chance later on to ask you and think about this question, how your experience in Japan influenced your work today. So you will answer later on. So let's thank you for the moment, and let's go on with Jinkang, who is online, but we have some problem of communication. So I will read some his presentation that he sent us. So he is from China, and he's working with porcelain. Let's go on. And his source of inspiration is the daily life, and this experience is fascinating him a lot, especially the one of discovering the contemporaneity of the daily life. Next one. So he used the materials at the beginning, such as silk, vacuum bags, wraps, trying to capture a unique feeling, and the result for him was not satisfactory. And then these attempts didn't have the effects that he imagined, and so he he tried to work with ceramic. Next one. Together with his professor Li Yuhua at the university, he created a set of lamp works with a special material, the heat shrinkable tube, to connect the wires. And she shared this discovery with him. Let's go on. And together with Professor Li, he completed this new series of work called Balance. Next. That is the creative process. Next. The result of this process was selected at the National Art Exhibition in 2019. And we see the image of this group of works. Let's go on. Particular. And he said that after graduating from a university, he returned to Huyang in Hebei province, which is his hometown. This is the birthplace of Din Kiln, one of the 5 famous kilns in ancient China. With a profound and deep cultural heritage. Din Kiln has gained great fame during the Song dynasty and has an important position in the history of Chinese ceramics. He worked in relation to tradition, and he dreamed to create ceramic artworks that can have the essence of Din King, but has also a contemporary art style. Next. So he re-examined and made a new form starting from his graduation, integrating the point of his graduation to new forms and to new artistic development. And we can see some images of these new works. Let's go on. In 2021, he created the first piece of the Restraint and Breakthrough series that we can see in this image. Next. And with this piece, with this new series, he received the Silver Award at the Jinkang International Ceramic Art Biennale. And we can see the image of the opening and of this work displayed. Next. This, number 2, is the work selected for the Faenza Prize inside the series Restraint and Breakthrough. And it was created in 2023. Next. So we can see that on the surface there are some reliefs of origin that take origins from the shapes and the forms of the Deng kiln porcelain, and he put the relationship between the old figurine and the surface where there is this relief. Let's go on. Another one, this shape is emerging on the surface, and this is the shape of the boy hugging a goose from the Deng kiln. Next. And here we can have a look at the complete work. And he said that in the creative process, he selected the most representative ancient Deng kiln ceramic utensils, such as the baby-shaped pillow and the goose-hugging pot, as prototypes. And he adopted this iconic ivory white glaze color of Deng kiln, striving to endow the work with a new vitality on the basis of inheriting the classics. So there is this dialogue between the tradition and the search of innovation and contemporaneity. I think that this was the last image. So we thank Gu for his presentation and for his presence today in this talk. And we really appreciate your work. That is this origin very important in the history of Chinese ceramic, but with an idea of innovation and actualization of the tradition. So thank you very much. Let's go on with the next artist, Qananyan, born in Armenia. Thank you very much for your presence. She works on the thematic of circularity and renewal. So the floor is yours, and give us the pleasure of your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I am Qananyan, an artist and painter, ceramic artist and painter from Armenia. First of all, I would like to thank the jury members for including my work in the Biennale. It is a great honor to be part of such an important exhibition. Speaking about my work, let me resort to the following conventional division into groups. Next, please. In this series, I got impression from natural, particularly its texture and shapes. In some pieces, I mixed clay with other natural material to emphasize the impact of time on various elements of the natural world. Next, please. In these works, I combined grosses, sand, and wood ash with clay. Next, please. These works explore the properties and possibility of clay, capturing the movement of a crowd of people moving in one direction. Next, please. This piece I created using porcelain and pigments. Next, please. These work also composite of porcelain and pigment reveals a difference that make it appear as the two distinct pieces when lit from behind in the dark. Next, please. With this framework of the project, group of artists and I worked with soil taken from the Erebuni fortress in Yerevan, Armenia. Next, please. I utilized the clay pigment, achieved different shades by wiring the ratios. Next, please. This is a corner of my work during this group exhibition. Next, please. And these are my exploration of three-dimensional object, where I emphasize visibility from all angles, incorporating symmetry in these two works. Next, please. This piece was created during my residency at the Ceramic Arts Center in Faenza, Italy, in last year. This piece I created using porcelain paper clay and pigment. It is currently displayed at the International Museum of Ceramic in Faenza. Next, please. Many of these works are a reflection of my time as a restorer of frescoes. This experience not only instilled the sense of responsibility, but also developed in me the patience and concentration that are essentially for ceramics. Next, please. My works involves separating color into layers, wheel, mentation, volume, and form. Next, please. This piece was created during the war in Armenia, a time when news outlets were filled with list of victims' birth dates. The two sides of the work are divided by a border, with the birth dates of victims on each side mirrored against each other. Next, please. Selected work, cycle. In creation of my ceramic pieces, I am deeply inspired by the cycle nature of our environment. Each work embodies that concept that every end makes the beginning of something new. A time that has played out countless times throughout history. My ceramics countless a moment of chaos, an uncontrolled dance of forms and color that reflect the dynamic interplay of all elements. As I mold a shape of clay, I am envisionable small invisible fragments of the microcosm converging to create these tangible forms. Each piece serves as a metaphor for interconnectedness, where the seemingly disparate aspects of life come throughout in harmony. By transforming this microscopic inspiration into new material, I am to evoke a sense of wonder, contemplation in the viewer, inviting them to reflect on the beauty and complexity of existence itself. Next, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Annie, for your presentation. I'm always very impressed by this deep connection you have with the world of nature and the painting, because I saw this beautiful work in a kind of dialogue, and you are using the clay and especially now in the new work, the porcelain, in a very sophisticated and elegant presentation. So thank you for your presentation, and we wait for you in Faenza. So the next artist is Aliona Kryshtofik from Poland and Belarus. She works on the visual metaphor of going transformation, vulnerability, and renewal. So Aliona, the floor is yours. Please.
Thank you. So, hello. My name is Aliona Kryshtofik, and here you already see the work that was selected for Premio Faenza. I'm Belarusian and Polish artist, so I was born in Belarus, but I currently work and live in Poland, and all my work is connected to here now. So the work selected, Bending, is a part of series showing the destruction and composition at the same time. It evokes a sense of both fragility and strength, a balance between stability and change. It invites viewers to contemplate the human experience, our constant adaptation, the forces that shape us, and the inherent tension between resistance and surrender. The sculpture serves as a visual metaphor for the ongoing journey and transformation, capturing the moment of vulnerability that holds within it the potential of growth and renewal. Next, please. Here you will see the work from different angles. I mainly work with porcelain and high-fired clay, and I'm really inspired by how the porcelain reacts with other glazes and other clays. So in the next works, you will also see how I came to this point. So next, please. This is the geometric series that I've started in actually 2021. They were my first trials. And I ended up in 2023 making the series of work that looks like toys. It was a technical task for myself, so I wanted to keep creating after casting some small pieces. And so I created the small geometric pieces and started to build bigger sculptures. Next, please. So now we're in 2024, when I created actually the work bending, and I started to change my ideas more to deformation and transformation idea. So my own perception of art world was getting more complex too, and I became also a member of Association of Ceramic Artists Karamos in Poland that influenced a lot my perception of what I was doing. This work is called Building Home, and it was mostly connected to my immigration experience and also adaptation. So the name of two works, like Building Home, as I told you, is about building a new place and adaptation to the environment when you immigrate and try to build your own home on the ruins of what you called home before. So both of these works should be shown together. As you see, the black one is a kind of ruin of something that was called home before, and this like pinky, colorful right work is something about this dream that we have when we immigrate or when we change the place where we live. So next, please. As you hear now, adaptation in a new place and building this new world goes through my art objects very clearly. My personal growth and changes can come hard through therapy and constant learning. So that's also how I came to this deformation series. That is like about both physical and personal transformation that gives me inspiration in my works. This particular work is also something colorful that I wanted to see how colors and all these geometric sculptures will combine in the firing and will change during the firing. So each work is placed in the kiln in a very specific way, so it actually changes during the firing. All the objects shrinks and deform, so when I take the piece out, it looks really different from what I've put in the kiln. Next one, please. So this work actually was created at the same time as the previous I showed to you. And while preparing myself to this presentation, I realized that last year I had a really hard experience of immigration, and I started to make works at the same time. So when I was creating this beautiful pink and colorful thing, I needed to make something else that would show this destruction, cracks, some other colors, something that is not that happy as I wanted it to be before. And some of these works even cannot be held together. So after firing, they are like all in pieces. And I really enjoy this idea of this interchange of the material that just cracks and cannot really keep it. So you can see the tension between the pieces and the small objects. So this material itself has an influence on the process. I'm using, as I told you, I'm using the high-fired clays and also low-fired sleeves. So by layering different materials on top of each other, I achieve complex texture by using the same material. And it is also important for me that all the changes the work gets in the firing happen within a few materials used. So like what you can see now, all these textures are basically just 3 or 4 materials layered on top of each other in a very different way. And next, please. This is going to be the last one I will show in this presentation and series. And this was actually the last one made in this year, the recent one. So currently, I'm also working on understanding of this idea of deformation deeper through the material. So the works you see on presentation show carefully planned process structures, and they were supported by other structures during firing. Also, as you see here, this sculpture was fired in a very different way, not like it is presented, but after I put it as I want to present it, it keeps all together. But it was planned. And now my main interest is in deforming the material itself. So I'm looking for recipes. How can I change the porcelain so it starts to melt and also transform within itself? Also, as this metaphor of journey and deep transformation that can be colorful and also can be cracked, can be in pieces. Maybe it wouldn't be the piece I put in the kiln before. So I want to show this inner transformation that happen every day, deforming what we are and what we would be. So next one will be the end, and also showing again the work that will be presented in Premio Faenza. Thank you.
Thank you, Aliona. Your work is the metaphor of representing yourself, your life, and the challenge that you, but everyone have in their life. It's a kind of a metaphor of human being, but this very colorful part of your work, together with the deformation and the challenge that you are trying to achieve, is a kind of result of your stronger personality. So thank you very much for showing us your work and for conversating about also what happened to your life and including us in your work. Okay, thank you very much, Aliona. See you later, and let's go on with the next artist, Ambra Lorito. She sent a video, and in her work is merging the duality among material and sound, and we will see her experience in this video presentation. Stefania, please.
Salve a tutti, mi chiamo Ambra Lorito e sono una scultrice che si occupa di sculture tattili sonore in argilla e chiodi. Nella mia ricerca indago la potenza del suono, questo processo quasi alchemico in cui si parte dalla materia e si arriva all'immateriale, ovvero il suono. E vi mostro alcuni pezzi dell'inizio di questa ricerca in cui andavo a modellare delle forme per poi inserire questi chiodini e creare questo gioco di dualità tra la superficie liscia e la parte pungente interna. Ho voluto esporre nel 2022 questa installazione dove c'erano più elementi in dialogo, ovvero una scacchiera interamente fatta in ceramica, dove si creava uno scenario in cui due performer giocavano una partita di scacchi dove l'obiettivo non era vincere conquistando terreno e mangiandosi, ma era semplicemente usare le regole originali degli scacchi per danzare negli spazi vuoti a ritmo dei suoni delle sculture. Quindi questi performer andavano a muovere i pedoni alternandosi solo quando i partecipanti interagivano con queste sculture, che in questo caso erano copricapi, o con le altre opere esposte in questa stanza, creando così un'etica magnetica in cui ogni elemento era connesso all'altro e ogni azione creava una reazione coinvolgente. Come potete vedere in questo spazio ci sono anche queste opere sospese che hanno preso il nome di giardino magnetico, in cui questi elementi di ceramica contenevano le potus, che sono piante con la capacità di armonizzare gli ambienti. Andando avanti ho voluto coniare la tecnica tradizionale del tornio per andare a creare una superficie il più possibile omogenea, che avesse però un foro in entrambi i lati. Queste sculture generalmente vengono amplificate con dei microfoni a contatto che vengono a loro volta collegati a un amplificatore. Nel corso del tempo, questa volontà di trovare delle note all'interno di questi elementi appuntiti mi ha portata a dar vita a questa serie di sculture che invece sono interamente in terraglia bianca, quindi argilla, in cui questi elementi non hanno all'interno il chiodo, ma hanno appunto un timbro ben definito che posso andare a gestire dopo la cottura. Questa scultura tattile e sonora è l'opera selezionata per il Premio Faenza. Utopian World è la ricerca che indaga la potenza del suono come mezzo per armonizzare il nostro corpo e il nostro ambiente. I suoni prodotti da questi chiodi sono su frequenze armoniche, quindi hanno un effetto benefico sul corpo e appunto l'ambiente circostante.
So thanks Ambra for this presentation. It will be interesting to see the interaction with the public, with your work, among the public and your work, and it will be also interesting to see the reaction taking this shape, very modular, very soften, and the inside with these nails that probably it will be not so easy for the public to interact, but we will see the result of this interesting research and with among materiality and sound, as I said. Now let's go on with Sandra Majecka from Poland. Thank you, Sandra, for being with us. She's in her work, she is fascinated by the concept of change and transformation. So we'd like to listen to your presentation. Sandra, please.
Hello. First of all, I would like to thank the jury for selecting my work. It's a great opportunity to present, an honor to present my sculptures today alongside so many incredible artists. My name is Sandra Majecka. I'm from Poland. Quite recently, just last year, I graduated from Academy of Art and Design in Wrocław, Poland, where I got my master's degree in ceramic art and design. Before that, I graduated from Fine Arts High School in Żory, my hometown, where I got my diploma in the field of ceramics. Currently, I'm a teacher there, and I lead the ceramic studio. On the next slide, you can see some of my works. Most of the work that I will show you today, I made last year during my studies at the academy. I selected a few that I think represent my current approach to ceramic the best. So I'm fascinated by concepts of change and transformation, symbolizing a belief in the potential of growth and metamorphosis. I try to embrace an ongoing process where all the elements can be modified, transformed and merged to create something entirely new and different. The presented sculptures align with my current interests that focus on dynamic changes occurring in the environment. So I have a particular interest in areas that have been transformed by human activity, post-industrial, forgotten and abandoned places where nature gradually reclaims its space and forms new ecosystems. So these locations contain unique artifacts, remnants of past human creations that became a part of a new landscape. Next slide, please. So this fusion of diverse elements for me is a very captivating phenomenon. These objects, textures and shapes that initially seem mismatched undergo partial destruction over time, giving rise to new structures. These evolving forms serve as an inspiration for my work and for my structures. I also have to admit that my approach to ceramics changed quite drastically at some point, partially because during my studies I had the chance to help and to take part in the firing of the Tongama kiln, the wood-fired kiln at the academy. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I took part in a couple of these firings, and I was very fascinated how predictable and unpredictable the processes and the results were, and how the energy of the makers could be extended throughout the entire process of creating these works. Next slide, please. Engaging directly with fire teaches respect for it and for its force that creates but also destroys. So I try to incorporate these experiences in my works, and I want my sculptures to represent a dialogue between intentional creations and unpredictable processes, and I'm allowing the material's natural tendencies to play a role in shaping the final forms. It's some kind of art of letting go without giving up in the process. So the sculptures that you saw up to this point were partially wood-fired, and then I added some glazed elements in electric kiln. Next, please. On this slide, you can see some of my porcelain works. When I sculpt, I use a mix of techniques. I extrude some elements, mostly tubes, and combine them with wheel-thrown pieces and hand-built elements. Next, please. Sometimes I use plaster molds for the basic shapes. And the texture and how the material works when I'm shaping it gives me an idea how to proceed next. Next slide, please. Throughout the process, I try to maintain a deep respect for the material and the processes that are essentially co-creating my sculpture objects. On the next slide, you can see a little sneak peek of the new series that I'm working on right now, where I'm focused on a phenomenon of anthropogenic, highly fertile soils that are primarily of culture origin. So it's an intriguing example of symbiosis between humans and the nature. In my ideas, I try to incorporate fiction as a working methodology and explore its potential in forecasting dystopias and utopias. So that's the idea that I'm developing right now. Next slide, please. So here is a detailed shot of my sculptures that were chosen to take part in the Faenza Prize. You can see, I think the glaze is better here on this detail. And on the next slide, you can see all of them. They are titled artifacts in relation to the issues that I'm interested in, so speculative concepts of the future. I'm focusing on dynamic changes that we can observe in our environment. So considering possible end of the world as we know it, I also think about something new and different, alternative. So these sculptures were made based on idea that refers to catastrophic scenarios and speculations about the future. They can represent biomorphic creations that are remnants of a world in which humanity was the main shaping factor. These organic elements that you can see are combined with synthetic shapes. They interpenetrate each other and create the impression of shape transformation that stopped in time. As I mentioned before, I use a mix of techniques. I extrude some elements, I will throw, I hand build, and I use some plaster molds. And you can see all the techniques here as well. And also in these works, or for these works, I developed my own glaze that could give me this metallic effect, manganese glaze, that can be fired in electric kiln without the need for reduction. So that was what I was hoping to achieve, this metallic effect that combines all the elements. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra, for your presentation. It's interesting to see how you give a chance to the materials in its different in the different possibilities of creation and firing. And I'm very surprised by your new works that are very different from your previous and from the one that you submitted for the Faenza Prize. So I'm very curious to see the development of your research. Thank you, Sandra. And we go to the last artist, Zhang Kai, from Shaanxi province in China. He works with porcelain, as the majority of the Chinese artists, creating a very interesting installation in a dialogue between tradition, design, and sculpture. So, Zhang, the presentation is to you. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Zhang Kai. I'm from China, Jingzhou City. I'm very happy to participate in this video and thank the host. Now, please allow me to start the describe of my work. Please show first the work. This work was selected for this Faenza. Its name is Puffed Food Treated with Acupuncture. I think today's city is a huge showcase, and consumption has become its core. In recent years, there are a large number of specialized snack shops in China's streets, and puffed food has become a large-scale sales commodity. It seems that puffed food has become an indispensable part of people's lives and a standard for spending leisure time. But have we seriously thought about whether whether we really need it? In my opinion, this is a manufactured landscape and a forced consumption. Such consumption makes people gradually lose the ability to think. Who made all this and made the so-called rational human beings lose their rationality? Therefore, I use the ceramic materials with crispness, similar nature, and a strong conversion to imitate puffed food and mix the small amount of real puffed food in the work and show them together. This is also a dialogue between reality and falsehood on the same stage. At the same time, such a sick society needs treatment. So I use the traditional Chinese medicine acupuncture to treat it. Acupuncture is a gentler method than surgery. This also means that we must allow consumption to enter our daily lives, but also let it go beyond our lives to regain our long lost thinking ability and a more vital daily life. Please next. This work is called Tribute to Braille because Braille invited the current Braille method, and his contribution to visually impaired people can more conveniently receive education and enjoy the power of knowledge, and have the same right to enjoy human civilization. My work is made by molding and writing in Braille, and these Brailles represent not only the symbols of a certain group, but also their true understanding of life in the past years. In my opinion, the use of clay materials to express this theme is the most suitable, because clay is kind, without borders, and retains the greatest goodwill for living individuals. And at the same time, everyone is equal before the clay. Next, please. This work, its name is Plantation, and was made in the Longchuan Porcelain District in China. Longchuan is the hometown of celadon. Local porcelain craftsmen can make celadon to the extreme, but behind the extreme is a piled up of large amount of waste. It would pose a huge threat to the ecological environment. So I collected discarded porcelain. My method is to select sugar soil and Longchuan porcelain clay for preparation. Select the appropriate effect after many experiments, and combine it with discarded porcelain and build a sense of ruin. Most importantly, I hope that the work will give the viewer deep reflection on the relationship between human beings and the natural environment. Next, please. Its name is Luxury Collection, a pair of shorts. For China, the imperial Q blue and white porcelain was an absolute luxury in its historical years. However, now it has fallen from the altar of luxury, and then under influence of Western value culture today, people all over the world are pursuing a new concept of luxury, such as Gucci, Hermes, Chanel, and so on. Therefore, I used the extremely cheap fabric shorts, wrapped them with mud, and recombined the logos of luxury brands into traditional and classic flower patterns. I think we can find the luxury that belongs to us today from the past. Perhaps along this path, we can also experience a spiritual homecoming in lonely wandering. Please next. Its name is Despairing Blue and White. Industrialization is the main mode of production today. While serving people, it also creates difficulties. Therefore, my work recycles discarded plaster molds and makes them unusable again through sanding, splicing, and combination. And then the blue and white landscape painters in his work are painted in a gradually despairing way, making us think about how to face the loss of real natural landscape in highly industrialized what and where our future habitat will be. Please next. This work's name is Flowers of Wasteland. It's set flower vases made by wheel throwing during the rotation of the clay, the strength of the hands, and the speed of the machine from a natural cracking state. This cracking effect is like a rough ruin, and it's also my exploration of the fragile and hard material properties of ceramics. These seemingly contradictory properties are in perfect harmony with the human spirit. That's all for my speech. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Zhang, for your presentation. Your work makes us reflecting on our society is very critic, and it's also a new approach to what is what means the tradition of ceramic in your country, taking into consideration the celadon production, the blue and white, but also it reminds the idea of the manufactured landscape that I really like as a description of your work and your interpretation. So thank you very much. We will see your big installation in the Faenza Prize and how this different sides of the Chinese tradition enter also in this big installation with the acupuncture and porcelain. So thank you very much. And let's go with all the artists in the plenary. And I'd like to thank them for their presence. And I'd like to ask you if there are any comments that you'd like to add to your presentation. June, there was this question about your experience and how this change of sides and affected your work from Japan to Switzerland.
So the thing was, I didn't have, because I was living in Tokyo and I didn't have a studio there, so I couldn't really work in Tokyo. So I basically only worked when I was in Shigaraki. But that was, I think, it's my favorite place on earth. It's like, so there's really nothing to do except of ceramics. There are like really like maybe 100 little ceramic stores and like a lot of pottery studios. They have like a big residency there as well. And there's just everything you need to work with ceramics, and the infrastructure is amazing. They have very big kilns and they have very old anagama kilns, which was super interesting to see and to learn about. So I think I just learned a lot about techniques and like different glazes, even though I didn't use them, but just like from talking with people and looking at other artists' works. And that was just very, very inspiring. I feel like I never felt so content at another place. So it's like a special place for me.
Yeah, thank you, June, for your ideas about this experience. And I'd like to ask Annie the same question, because Annie was in Faenza last year producing new works, and how this Italian experience affected your work.
Maybe until now it's changed for me little by little, because in museum I see lots of different and lots of lots of works, and for me it's very impression. And Faenza I like because you everywhere see new works, new I don't know, like all people do some ceramics. For me, it's a very impression because in my country we haven't lots of ceramic artists, especially contemporary like these ceramics artists. We have not that much.
Okay, thank you.
And sorry for
Thank
my
you.
words.
No. It's fine. It was just a question. Knowing that you came and you work in a completely different place from your country. And Aliona, what about your new experience on the materials? And I see that you change the colors and you change also the surface that became something different from your first works. So is it a challenge that you are going to take also for the future, or it's a specific series of work that you'd like to experiment?
Well, that's a very good question. I should ask it also to myself, if it's only for this series or for others too. I'm actually also working on a different kind of ceramics right now, but I see that I still try to deform it with the same method. So even though I'm working with a very different visual ceramics, on the other hand, I'm still looking for these small things I can change inside the materials. So also as an example, what I'm doing is I'm using like low-fired clays on top of high-fired clays with some glaze in between. That also makes it very complex, deforming, and interesting. So the next idea I want to use is adding borax to porcelain and to see how after casting it will also deform. So I hope it will bring me to a point when I'll find something else and maybe get inspired of something else. But it's definitely a big journey and also a reflection of what's happening around me. Yeah, it goes deeper.
It goes
With
deeper, and we
textures.
will see, as for Sandra, we will see new forms and new inspiration from the clay, because she also created a new series. This work that you presented is something that means to you a new part, a new beginning, a new starting of your work, isn't it?
Yes, when I left the academy, I left some part of me there. So now it's new beginning. So I guess it's also reflects in my work. But I'm still working around the same concepts. I just try to different ways to show my works, and I try to work with the material, not against it. And I'm doing what I can now with the limited resources that I have, but also it teaches me how to develop my own body of work on my own, basically.
Yeah, great. Then last question, or that's sentence for Zhang. What is your next challenge? Because you always put some interesting points and very critical points in your installation. Are you working on something special for the coming month?
I think I prefer to force the society problem not only for the materials. Think about like the material, like the porcelain, pottery, or wooden, and bamboo, and so on. I think the society problem is very, very important, and not this is a very big. This is a big project. It's a big project. Not only about the I think. Oh, sorry, I think I think first on the human problem is so importantly
It's a major problem.
than materials. I think this is for discovery the human problem is a challenge for me.
Okay, so thank you, Zhang, for sharing your idea. Before saying goodbye to everyone and to thank everyone for the presence and also the public who is online, I'd like to tell you that there are 3 competitions that are online. Grottaglie Mediterranea, the Martinsons Award, and the Blanc de Chine. And so the deadline are in these days, so you can apply if you like. And for next episode of the Faenza Prize Talk, we will have the pleasure to have Ye-Young Cho leading this talk, together with Li Ming Shu, David Morrison, Maxwell Mustardo, Cristina Okan, Yelisaveta Pornova, Rin Pyun Yae, Irina Razumovskaya, and Lea Renard. So the appointment is for next week, Wednesday, May 7th at 2 p.m. But as you know, you can always watch this episode on our YouTube channel, Nick Faenza. So thank you all, and see you in Faenza. Bye.